So, welcome to the last day of IBC. It's been a great 5 days, hasn't it?
No, this is the second day.
Hello, welcome to the second day of IBC, another extraordinary day. Rather than focus on new product announcements, we're going to talk about some of the sort of deeper trends which are emerging when you go around a show like this and you see like hundreds of companies and you do come to some conclusions. I think increasingly one of the things we're seeing is what I would call virtualization, and that's where, let's take an example. Newtek, they're just over there, and of course everybody knows them for the TriCaster, but they have a very good network system, video over IP. And in the old days, if you wanted to do like a multi-camera, multi-channel production, you'd have to have like an SDI socket for every channel. And now, you can have as many channels as your network speed will allow coming out of one Ethernet port.
Yeah, and it also works the other way around. So for every so basically you can have like a minimum amount of cables. You have to just connect one cable to each source, and that would just work.
Yeah,
and that's amazing because it saves so much cabling energy. It actually is less of a technical challenge.
Exactly, and it's more reliable, and we know this because we've actually done some RedShark Live, RedShark Connect events running entirely over IP cables, and it was absolutely sound. So this is definitely a trend. That's one example of virtualization. Another example might be, let's think of a camera like with a personality like the Sony Venice, which has amazing color science. And at some point it'll be possible to kind of package that color science and use it in a virtual sense, use it as a plug-in, or and so this is the architecture we're going to be finding increasingly, and just sort of keep an eye on these trends. So what have you seen today?
Well, I think that in the more like the production zone, you see a lot more focus. Actually, there's a few new lights out, and I think that broadly speaking, we're getting to a point that every lighting manufacturer is doing something with RGB lighting.
Yes.
Obviously, that has been the trend for at least the past year. We now see more advancements in output, but also in practicality in hard lights, which is always a bit of a challenge because you have like the 1x2s or the 1x1s. We now see like more spotlights, especially like Arri Orbiter.
Yeah.
It's obviously one of the greatest examples and probably the biggest product release for lighting. But I think that in general, fixtures are becoming more, like LED fixtures are becoming more professional, more easy to use, and it seems like it's getting more professional in a way. It's getting to that point where HMIs and Red Hats were all this time already.
It seems to me the pace of innovation in lighting is incredible now.
Yeah.
We've kind of passed some sort of technical threshold where all of these things like full RGB lighting are possible and manageable, and they're not a science experiment anymore.
Yeah, and just also the ease of use, because it's almost everything is now wirelessly DMX, or they use an app of some sorts, which makes it so much easier to actually use the light in an actual production. So I think that's a huge step forward, and something that will just save you a lot of time. And if it doesn't really matter if you're like a one-man band or if it's like a full crew shoot, like in both scenarios, this will have huge advantages over the traditional way of lighting. Yeah.
So there's one more thing I want to mention. We've had some new cameras shown here for the first time, but I think one of the most significant ones is the one that's not been shown, and that's the RED Komodo.
Yes.
And we don't know much about it yet. I mean, I think we're guessing it's a 6K camera. It's pretty small. It's
Yeah.
pretty light. We don't know what the price is going to be.
We know the mount.
Yes,
We know the lens mount.
yes. But it's just kind of sitting there on the edge, making waves and threatening to be very disruptive. So, and we don't know when it's going to appear, do we? We've just had little clues.
I think it should be in the next months.
Yeah.
I think it will be in 2019,
I
right?
guess before Christmas, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we know RED really well, and we don't have a clue. So
have
it's
no
very intriguing. And yeah, so that's it. More tomorrow. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
We go off and eat bitterballen now.
I can't wait.
More deep fry.